How has consistency for you been like a cheat code? Like what's like your process? Like how do you figure things out, what you're good at, what you're not good at?
Oh man, people are going to hate this answer. People who are stuck hate this whole conversation. And I know because I've been where they're at and you're like, I just need something, like, give me the one thing. And we're giving you the freaking thing, but they don't want to hear it. They think it looks like something. They think that
what else you got?
It's like, oh, you're telling me that I just have to like post videos every day and just get better at them and just keep doing it forever?
Yes.
I don't want to do that. Is there a magical ad I can run? Is there a magical script you have that'll just bring listings raining on my head? And it's so insane, but I thought that way for years. So I know how it is.
Welcome to the podcast dedicated to real estate, insurance, and building your business. Join us as we take you along our own business building journeys with additional wisdom from our network of local and national experts. Welcome to Bricks and Risk.
This episode is brought to you by Property Management Redefined. PMR is not just managing properties, they're creating partnerships that build long-term success for property owners. John and his team can be reached at manage@gopmr.com or by phone 267-753-6005. Tim.
Yes, Sean.
Who's a good client for PMR?
Property Management Redefined is looking for property owners who value three things: accountability, reliability, and a results-driven approach. They want to maximize returns, but still provide client and tenant satisfaction.
There's a lot of property managers out there.
Yes, there are.
What does PMR do really well?
Biggest thing is they're seamless and they're worry-free. So with that approach in mind, it allows the property owner to put their trust in PMR and know that the results will be there. The other thing I think a property owner is really going to value because they do it so well is that they have a local expert team, boots on the ground, managing your properties and your tenants' expectations every day so that you feel good about your investments.
We have millions of listeners out there.
Tens of millions.
If they want more information, how do they find PMR?
Right here, guys. Reach out to John Sachs and his team at Property Management Redefined. They'll take good care of you. Yo, folks. Welcome to another episode of Bricks and Risk. I'm Tim Garrity.
And I'm Sean Mooney.
Sean, we have a Salt Lake City boy on today. We have Dustin Brohm, founder of Massive Agent Society, and as well as the podcast host of the Massive Agent Podcast. How you doing today, Dustin?
Fantastic. What's up with you guys?
Not much, man. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Happy to. Yeah, what's going on?
So Massive Agent Podcast has been around for about 7 years with over 1.2 million downloads. It's a real estate focused podcast, residential real estate, more my industry as well as Dustin's. Dustin helps real estate agents sell more in less time, run profitable businesses, keep more of their income, and see themselves as entrepreneurs. After struggling in the first half of his agent career, he learned how to build a successful real estate business through content marketing, not cold calling strangers and door knocking, which he hated. Dustin became obsessed with helping other agents 10x their own real estate businesses, publicly sharing everything he's been doing along the way, his wins, failures, pivots, and why he made them. He hosts a super popular weekly real estate show called The Massive Agent. It's industry facing, and he's had such famous guests as Sharon Srivatsa, Tariq El Moussa, and Lee Brown. Dustin offers no hype, honest advice from someone who knows how to turn struggle into real estate success. So you started out selling real estate for clients, and then you pivoted to coaching leading agents. What made you shift your mindset from being a realtor to being a leader?
You know, a couple things happened around the same time. So I've been in real estate for 14 years. I started as a solo agent, doing everything, wearing all the hats, right? You know, doing everything that a solo agent does. I started there like everybody else. And I realized, like once I finally figured it out, and it took me like 5-6 years to actually figure out how to get business on a consistent basis. Yeah. Like I finally figured out marketing 5 or 6 years in. And once I got busy, I realized holy shit, maybe this isn't exactly what I want, because I was missing my son growing up. I was missing date nights with my wife. And like, I was doing that grind because I thought that you had to do that, right? Just working nonstop. And I realized I don't want this. So I planted a seed that, I need to build some sort of business where I can have others selling homes for me or with me. I didn't want to keep doing what I was doing forever, because the busier I got as a solo agent, the more time I spent working.
Yeah.
And that was never the goal for me. The goal was income and lifestyle, and really lifestyle, and the income makes it possible, right? So I planted a seed, and it's interesting how things just kind of come together. So right around that time too, I had figured out marketing. I was using Snapchat because Gary Vee said so. Gary Vee said to use Snapchat. This was back in early 2016.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And I also heard him say that if you're using Snapchat for your industry, write an article for an industry publication about why you're using Snapchat and send it to him. And so I did. I wrote some article. I'm not a writer. I freaking hate writing, but I wrote some article and sent it to Inman and a few other places, and Inman published the damn thing. And they included my little like ghost code, the little Snapchat ghost QR code deal. And so they published it, and I woke up that morning and I had like 1,500 followers who are all agents.
That's awesome.
They're all agents.
Yeah.
And then the next day, the same thing. And back then you had no idea how many followers you had on Snapchat. It didn't say.
Right.
But it was thousands of agents. And I'm like, holy shit. I thought I was just speaking to local consumers and buyers and sellers, but now my audience is majority agents. I'm just going to start sharing what's been working for me.
Yeah.
To grow my business and to get business, and like ads that I was running on Facebook that were working. And, I'm putting the sign up in the yard today, blah, blah, blah. And I started to show like, here's what I'm doing as an agent. And it started to resonate. And so like, I didn't set out to do that, but in hindsight, that's because I planted that seed that I wanted to build some sort of business that let me step back and build leverage for myself, still selling a bunch of homes, but not necessarily personally being the one to do it all. It's amazing how that came about. And so I was able to transition to just like teaching agents what I was doing. And back then I was never this big top producer. Like I was never this big, like I sell 150 homes a year. Like, never done that.
But come learn how to sell homes from me.
Yeah, come learn how to sell a few dozen a year.
I can teach you how.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, like which is good, but to some people it's not. Yeah. All I cared about was turning around to the people who were a step or two behind me and teaching them what I had just figured out. And that's all I've done my entire career. And I've just kept growing and growing and learning more. And, 7 years later with this podcast and this massive agent brand, I serve agents all day long, every day. And that is my business model now.
Yeah. Can you go a little bit deeper? You said after 5 or 6 years, you figured it out. What is the it? And how did you know at that point, like, I got something here?
Yeah.
Well, I knew that I had something because all of a sudden my phone was ringing, and I was, for the first time in real estate, I actually had clients to work with on a regular basis. Yeah.
I love it.
That was new to me.
Figured it out.
I knew theoretically it was possible. Like I see other people making a good living in real estate, and I was like, how the fuck do you do this? Right. So all of a sudden the phone started to ring, and I'm like, okay, I guess this marketing thing's pretty important. When I look back, it's just incredible how sometimes you're not ready to hear a message. Yeah. Like when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Even though I had been told, you've got to focus on marketing, you've got to focus on lead gen. That's the lifeblood of your business. There is no business without customers coming in the door and hiring you, right? Memorizing all of your contracts, all of your addenda, knowing all the strategy around escalation clauses and the absorption rate of your market and all the bullshit. None of that matters if you can't do it for somebody.
Yeah.
And so even though I had been told, focus on marketing, it wasn't until I actually did content marketing I started blogging, actually, writing articles, getting them found on Google. Some people found some random, ridiculous YouTube videos that I did, and ran some ads, and it started to work. And I'm like, okay, this is what people meant when they said focus on marketing, because that's the lifeblood of the business. So that I just started to do content marketing because prior to that, I was following the lead of a mentor who was very different from me personality wise. I love the guy, taught me a lot of good things, taught me a lot of bad things, but he's one of those like chase you down cold callers.
Yep.
You know, he has his scripts taped to the damn wall.
Pound, numbers game, that kind of thing.
Yep. And you better freaking stand up when you're calling, because the energy. Like, you got to bring your energy up. So stand up when you're calling, and you've got to have the Bluetooth headset set in and the scripts all over the wall, right?
Yep.
I hated that shit. Hated it. It didn't feel right, but at the time I was like, this is what realtors do. Like, if I'm gonna make it in this industry, I've got to do this. And it wasn't until, out of desperation, because I was starving to death basically and not closing anything, that I went to Google and I just Googled how to get real estate leads, and it brought me to Easy Agent Pro's website. They're a website provider for agents, and they were doing content marketing. They were teaching agents, hey, here's some ideas for getting clients to come to you. Hey, did you know that if you blog, people will find you and come to you? And I'm like, so I don't have to chase people down anymore?
Right.
And that was a huge paradigm shift for me. And so ever since then, I decided that I am a marketer who sells homes and not an agent who tolerates marketing.
Yeah, I was just talking to Sean right before you came on, and I was commenting on your brand. I love the Massive Agent brand. I think it's real sharp. It's black and white. It's text. How did you come up with the brand? Like, what were you just looking for? Like powerful words, like mashing them together? You're like, nah, this like means something to you. Like, where'd the brand come from?
I love that I get to talk about this, and it's so crazy to hear people praise my brand. And here's why. First off, I'm super grateful. Thank you. Mm-hmm. When I first decided to do the podcast, so I've been doing it now for almost 7.5 years. I decided to do it New Year's Day of 2018. I was walking my dog that night. So it was New Year's night, 2018. I was walking my dog. I was listening to Pat Flynn's Smart Passive Income podcast. And he's talking about how powerful podcasting has been for him and his audience building and everything that he's done compared to social media content, YouTube videos, and emails. Yeah. And I'm like, the way he phrased it, I was like, that's the most powerful thing I could ever do as a marketer. Why the hell wouldn't I do that? So something about it just clicked at that moment. And I'm like, I'm going to do a freaking podcast. And so halfway through walking my dog, I'm like, well, if I'm going to do this podcast, I need a name for it. And the term mega agent came to mind. I just thought of mega, and I'm like, what's bigger than mega? And I thought massive. And I shit you not, I started to laugh out loud because I thought it was so freaking stupid. I thought it was so dumb and cheesy and cringe, but I'm like, but a half second later, I'm like, fuck it. That's the name, Massive Agent.
I love it.
And I just ran with it. And so I'm like, well, I need a logo. And I just went to like Canva or like Word Swag or some app. And I like put Massive Agent on there, kept swiping until I found a font. And I'm like, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
And I just picked black and white because it's easy.
Yeah. Dude, so all right, so you've been running with the podcast now for over 7 years, over 1 million downloads. How did it transition from that podcast and that brand into the Massive Agent Society, which is your business now? How did that happen? Like, what were some of the steps you had to take to kind of get there?
Great question. So that all happened early on, actually. So I launched the pod mid-January of 2018. And then by May of that year, the podcast started to catch on. I had already had that, somewhat of an audience of other agents that helped me, launch the podcast. So I wasn't completely unknown to the world. So I started to get some listeners and some traction within the first 3 or 4 months. Nothing huge, but I'm like, well, this is working. People are listening. How else can I serve them? Because there's only so much I can do for people by talking to them through the internet. Yeah. Right. So I'm like, well, what else can I do? And of course I'm a capitalist. Like I'm I'm like, what can I do business wise? And I was like, well, shit, I should do like a coaching group. But then I'm like, what the hell would I have to offer? And so back then I just took all the Facebook ads that worked for me, and I put them in one database, and I was like, here, copy and paste these, you get access to these, and then I'll help you, troubleshoot them along the way.
Wow.
And that was the society back in the day, was copy and paste Facebook ads that still crush today. Like, I still have those ads as part of my coaching platform as a bonus. They still freaking work. It's incredible. So that's how it started, but it was really just, how can I go deeper and help agents, like actually help them move the needle in their business rather than just talking to them all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's how the coaching program started. And then, since then, over the last 7 years, it's just evolved, until like I realized, okay, some people do it, some people don't. Here's a weird thing. And I struggle with this. I've accepted it, but I struggle with it. I started to notice some people would cancel their membership.
Okay.
And they're like, this doesn't work. I'm like, well, shit, that sucks. Like, maybe this doesn't work. Like, shit, am I scamming people here? Like, is this terrible?
Did I let someone down? You have that feeling of doubt.
Yeah. I'm like, is this even good? And then literally that same afternoon, after somebody cancels and said it doesn't work, I get a message from Wayne in Charlotte, and it's like, hey, I just got 70 leads today.
Wow.
And I'm like, today? And he went on to sell over $1 million for the first time ever in his career, using the exact same ads, the exact same content that these other agents had access to that said that it didn't work. The reason I say all that is I learned pretty quick, not everyone does shit. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to figure out, how can I then take that further and create some accountability and make it a little bit more well-rounded, because there's a mindset component to it. And so I added, mindset coaching and I added more to it, just to help do everything I can to move agents along, to take action, and then to actually see results, short of me doing it for them.
Well, that's the thing, is you sell a course, or you're consulting, or you're doing whatever, is a lot of people buy into this and just think that, oh, I'm going to buy this and just set it on automated process, and it's going to go, and then the phone's going to ring, and it's just not the way life works. You have to you can make the investment, but if you're not putting the energy behind it, it's never going to work. And as you were saying it, I was like, man, you'd have to almost audit that person to say, okay, well, like, what else are you doing to try to make this thing go? And so it's always going to fall short if you don't have the energy behind it.
Yeah. Now, one thing you said before that I've heard you mention is that you like to golf. Is that a true statement?
I do love to golf, yes.
All right. So you've also compared getting good at golf as an analogy to getting good at the video content that you do these days for your marketing, for the podcast, for Massive Agent Society. And I thought that was such a good way to relate to it, because I don't golf. I don't love it that much, but I would like to keep up, because it's great for business. It's great for networking. It's great for social. Like, you meet people, like, I love to drink beers. I love to be out in nice weather. So there's lots of reasons why I think I would like to do it. But why did you make that analogy? Why did it resonate with you? Because if you do love the golf, it means you've probably put in the reps. So how does that resonate?
Well, I'm not exactly a great golfer. It's part of what I love about it is it's so freaking hard, and there's always something new. It always keeps you on your toes. I love that challenge, and you can do it until the day you die. Yeah. As long as you're physically able. But I use that analogy, I think, because that's the phase that I'm in right now. Is like, I got super obsessed with golf a few years ago, and like it's just front of mind. But whether it's golf or learning how to drive for the first time, or like how to like satisfy your spouse for the first, like literally everything that we've ever gotten good at, we started sucking at.
Yep.
And I think we forget that. We agents, it's not just real estate agents, but because this is my industry, that's who I talk to. Agents are so impatient.
Yes.
And their expectations are all fucked up. And I know this because mine were too.
Yep.
And we just want the quick fix. We're like, well, I know that if I just commit to that strategy, it'll bring me leads 6 months from now, but I need leads today. I need today business. I get it. We all want today business.
Yep.
But very few people are willing to just go through that suckage, whether it's running ads, sending, emails, even like having conversations at the kitchen table in a listing presentation. Like the first time you did that, you were horrible.
Right.
You do it a few more times, you get a little better. You do it a few dozen more times, you're better. Like anything else, the more you practice, the more you focus on it, the more you make it a priority, you're going to get better at that thing, whatever the hell that is. So whether that's social media content, you've got to start sucking and just keep going until you suck less. If it's door knocking, you got to suck until you suck less. Like,
yeah, but it's the same thing with golf, right? Like you
Exactly.
almost have to love.
Mooney's pretty good at golf, by the way.
Nice.
You have to love, like, the guy who's going to get really good has to love going to the driving range. Like, if you enjoy going to the driving range, if you enjoy sitting on the putting green and just taking hit after hit after hit after hit, the first time you go to a driving range, it's probably not going to be pretty. It's probably going to be pretty ugly. But the 50th time you're at the range, you're going to have people looking at you like, man, who's this guy?
Look at that shot.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have to enjoy, or you have to love, or have a passion for the work itself. If you don't enjoy that, you can't have an expectation that the end result is going to be this great thing. It's got to be
agree
more.
Completely.
There's got to be more to it.
Sure
I
is.
completely agree. Yeah, it's really frustrating to see people who have full control over their ability to succeed just unwilling to take those steps on a consistent basis.
Yep.
That's when I say that it's not difficult. What I mean is it's simple. It's hard, but it's also easy on a minute to minute basis.
Yeah.
Right. You just do certain things that maybe suck, maybe uncomfortable, maybe they're out of your comfort zone. But when you do certain things that are proven to work, they will frickin' work. Like, I don't know what else to say. And some people are just not willing to do that shit. And that's one of the hardest things about helping other agents is when I see more in them than they see in themselves, and they're just not willing to stay consistent and do the work. It sucks.
Yeah, I think one major thing, this is all kind of bringing it back in a different way for me, but I think one thing our industry, the residential real estate industry, lacks in training people who get into it, because again, low barrier of entry, not expensive to get your real estate license, doesn't take a lot of time. You don't even need a college degree. Like, you could just go sit in for I took classes. It was 3 weekends in a row. And then I took a weekend to study and I took my test, and I was like, boom, in less than 2 months, I went from not having a real estate license to now I can help people buy, sell, and rent massive amounts of money.
Yes.
I think the one thing our industry does not teach us, that everything we just talked about, is self-discipline. Because like you said, the reps aren't the hard part. It's not very hard to swing a golf club. It's not very hard to copy and paste into a Facebook ad, but doing it over and over and over and over again with a lot of goose eggs and or time and money spent with nothing in return is the self-discipline I feel like that a lot of people lack. This is probably a very valuable benefit to the massive Asian society. I'm not a part of it myself, but knowing that having this community, this group of people, and you're telling them, look, I've been doing this for almost a decade and a half. I sucked just like you suck right now. I had fear, I had doubt just like you have fear and doubt right now. But because I never gave up, that's why I'm sitting here right now teaching you how to do it. And, you know, the podcast is such a great example because you've been doing it 7.5 years. We've been doing it just over a year. And in just over a year, because we drop an episode every week, we're like, man, this thing is really doing well. Not because we happen to be the two best looking guys in the entire city of Philadelphia, but for the fact that we do it every week. People can count on us. I mean, we try and make people laugh,
But there's also improvement.
Try and get a couple nuggets out there.
There's improvement. Like, we are not the same as we were a year ago. And to Dustin's point is, you get better. Those reps that you continuously do are making you better.
Yep.
And if you're willing to put in the work, you're going to get better.
Yep.
And like, to your other point, it's simple. Like, it's not hard. To do it on a weekly basis is not going to kill you. But having that consistency and being disciplined to do it, that's the hard part.
It's a 100% a mental game.
Yep.
Yeah.
We all know somebody who's much less experienced than us, less competent. They're not as good of a communicator. Maybe they're not as good looking, like they're just.
Prove it.
That was a joke, by the way.
We all know somebody who's just like, we have a leg up on them, yet they are outpacing us and doing better than us in, maybe it's golf, maybe it's business, maybe it's their family life, whatever, because they just give less fucks.
Yeah.
Right. It's a confidence game. So maybe they just have confidence and they're like, screw it, I'm just going to do it anyways. And so the people that we're all chasing and looking up to, they're really not, it's not like they're super geniuses.
Nope.
They just were willing to go through the shit until they got to the other side. That's it. And I mean, that's harder for some people than others because we have a bunch of stuff in here.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's crazy. I also love this because every single person in business, we control our destiny. We have full control. Nobody else controls whether or not I record a video today, whether I post on social twice today. Nobody controls if I take my kids to school and spend that valuable time with them each morning. I control that. So when I do the things that are important to me, that I know that are going to move the needle in my life, and I do it every day, that helps build confidence, right? When you keep the promises you make to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or wins, and you get a win, and you get another win,
Yes.
and you get another win, and you get another win.
Yes.
It makes it easier.
Hey everyone, this is Tim, your favorite Bricks and Risk co-host. But don't tell Sean. I hope you're enjoying this episode, and I'll get right back to it in a moment. Our audience grows through word of mouth, so if you would please take a moment of your time and give us a review on the platform you're on, that would be fantastic. Please also help spread the BNR word by sharing your favorite episode with a friend. We greatly appreciate your time and trust. Now, back to the show. So with like the fact we're talking a lot about like consistency, confidence, like self-discipline. So if like consistency, let's call it as like some kind of like a cheat code for people to do well in real estate, be consistent, even if it's something that you don't like doing right away, be consistent at it, because then you'll realize you don't like to do it and you'll probably try something else that you may like better, or it may be more your personality. How did you get, so to do a podcast for 7.5 years, turn it into a business, help people all across the country, how has consistency for you been like a cheat code? Like what's like your process? Like how do you figure things out, what you're good at, what you're not good at?
Oh man, people are going to hate this answer. People who are stuck hate this whole conversation. And I know because I've been where they're at, and you're like, I just need something, like, give me the one thing. And we're giving you the freaking thing, but they don't want to hear it. They think it looks like something. They think that
what else you got?
It's like, oh, you're telling me that I just have to like post videos every day and just get better at them and just keep doing it forever?
Yes.
I don't want to do that. Is there a magical ad I can run? Is there a magical script you have that'll just bring listings raining on my head? And it's so insane, but I thought that way for years. So I know how it is. And so in this 7.5 years that I've been doing the podcast and all the doors that it's opened for me, like anyone that listens to me knows I'm not the most charismatic. I'm not the best, most eloquent communicator. I'm not the smartest. Like I'm just so fucking stubborn that I decided that one day on New Year's Day, 2018, that I was going to do a podcast every week, period. and I just did it. Most of the time, I don't feel like it. Most of the time, I'm like, oh shit, I got to record a podcast today. What do I do? Like, and so I go through these ups and downs, but I still show up. I still keep going. And like, I'm just stubborn enough to keep going. And I think that's been my superpower. I also, early on, I told you I went to Google that one day. I wasn't paying, like I was behind on all my bills. Like I remember this one time, my firstborn son, when he was a baby, he needed formula, unfortunately, but like we had to borrow coupons from family members to get discounts on formula.
Wow.
It was fucked, but
yeah.
I didn't feel like I had any other options than to just keep going. And so in hindsight, like what a blessing that was that I felt trapped in this industry, that I could not go get a job somewhere else. I did not feel employable. I didn't feel like it would make any financial sense to do that, or like go back to college to get it. Like, I'm like, I don't have any other choices. I just have to, I have to wake up tomorrow and just do it again.
Sink or swim. And that was maybe the best thing for you.
It was. It absolutely was. I mean, because if I had plan B and plan C and plan D, I would have taken
hard.
them.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a great story.
So be stubborn, basically, is my point. Just be a stubborn prick and just don't stop.
I love it.
Don't care what other people think.
That's a huge part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to kind of dismiss that. You have to get that out of your head, because you're never, it will be the one thing that consumes you that doesn't allow you to go forward.
Let's talk about that for a second. I think this is big.
Okay.
Yeah.
With agents that I talk to at all different levels, there's always this like, well, I don't want to look foolish. I don't want to look dumb. You know, I don't want to like stutter on a video and have someone make fun of me, or have somebody make fun of my face or my ears or the gray hairs on my frickin' chin or whatever. Right. Because I just kept going and doing it. I got to that used to be a concern of mine too. Like I was a little insecure. Like, well, what if that random douchebag from high school who I really don't care about, what if they happen to like comment negatively? Oh my gosh. But in hindsight, the beautiful thing is you don't want everybody to like you. That should not be the goal. You don't want everyone to be your client. You don't want everyone to like you. You don't want everyone to follow you on Instagram. You want the right people to. And if you can just get comfortable with the fact that you will repel some people will not like your voice, your personality, your tone, your sense of humor or lack thereof. They won't like that you're a 40-year-old dude wearing a backwards hat, whatever. Like you're just going to repel some people. But the flip side to that, which is where all the power is you're going to attract the right people as well. And that's when the shit gets really, really, really good and really fun.
That's awesome.
It's finding your tribe. We talked about this in a previous episode, is being authentic and finding what works for you, and finding that voice that you articulate that really brings your personality out. It's going to turn some people off. But the tribe that you're able to build are going to be the most loyal people that you're going to want. And that's exactly who you want to be speaking to. It's like the cream and the milk, right? Rising to the top, like there's separation. Like all those people I said once in a podcast, I can't wait to get hate mail. I was like, I can't wait till someone sends me, you look like an idiot. What do you think? You're a genius, you know? And I'm like, I can't wait for that, because it actually means that like someone's listening to me.
Yes. You are so speaking my language. Yes. Dogs don't bark at parked cars.
Yes.
That's a really good analogy.
1,000%.
If you're not moving forward, then there's nothing for people to talk shit about. So I love I've been doing this for a while. So like I've built the confidence around this.
Yep.
I don't feel like my posts have done well unless I get random douchebags talking shit in the comments.
Yes.
Yep.
Because when that happens, that means that your post has
Hit a
gone
velocity
beyond
level. Yes.
Yeah, it's gone outside to a wider network and reached some randos, and that's when you get like, well, realtors are worthless.
Right.
Sweet. Yes, I need more of these people.
Yeah.
Because I know like they're not real people. Like these are just, some of them are bots, some of them are just dopes in their parents' basement. Who gives a shit?
Haters are gonna hate, man.
Yes. So I think the goal should be to get some of those troll comments, understanding that like they don't know you. They would never say this to you in person. They don't know you. They're some loser.
Right.
But the goal should be to get that to happen, because it means that you're actually moving forward and you're taking steps forward and you're taking action. I love it. Yes.
That's such a good point. What you love most about what you do is making an impact. So how does that relate to everything you're doing now, especially with the podcast and Massive Agent Society?
Early on, all I could think about was just, earning enough to pay my bills.
Yeah.
And there's levels to this. So then once you're earning enough to pay your bills, then it's like, okay, then there's enough to do a little bit extra. Like maybe you can upgrade the neighborhood you live in. You can upgrade whatever. Like you can go on some more family vacations. You can put some money aside for investments and blah, 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 blah. And so there's levels. Like once your financial needs are met, or you feel like they are, then I think the next level is like, okay, well, what else? I'm not saying I'm wealthy by any stretch. Like I'm on step 1 out of 100 to my goals, but I also like money is the fuel that lets me do what I want to do, which really makes me happy, which is going back to somebody who is in the place where I was, getting, needing coupons for discounted baby formula and grabbing them and helping them get past that and showing them the way forward, so that they're not bumping their head on the wall for a year and a half trying to figure it out. But I just show them, hey, do this over the next 14 days. And like that's just super
impactful.
Yeah.
It's more than,
what's the word I'm looking for? It's
life-changing sometimes to see that and them
it's
go
fulfilling.
through.
Fulfilling. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And money's just a way to keep score.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. I agree with all that.
I don't know where I heard that. That's probably cliche as all hell, but I will say this: whether you're an agent, an insurance broker, mortgage broker, whatever, I believe you cannot be the best version of yourself as that service provider unless you get financially sound first. Because if you have financial stress and financial needs in your life, you can't give the best advice, because even subconsciously, there's a little neediness, there's a little pushiness. You might urge somebody to get into a certain property faster than you would personally, but you're like, well, I need a paycheck. So you're going to give better advice if you're like, hey, you know what? Let's not sell your house. You should wait a year and a half. You're going to get so much more business just by doing what's right for people. When your financial needs are met, you can focus on them much easier. And that's why I say, get financially sound. It's one of the best things you could do for your business. And I know some people are like, well, no shit, that's what I'm trying to do. But it's just a larger conversation than just like money for stuff.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah. Well, hey, we greatly appreciate you taking time out of your day today, joining us all the way from Salt Lake City.
Thank you.
Before we shut it down, why don't you tell our audience where they can learn more about you and everything you got going on?
Yeah, the nice thing about being online and building a brand over 7 years, I'm easy to find. So Massive Agent on social, YouTube, everywhere. Just Google Dustin Brohm or Massive Agent, and you'll find me. The best place to connect with me, probably Instagram DMs. Massive Agent on Instagram. Just connect with me there. If you heard me on this podcast, shoot me a message and just say, hey, I'd love to chat with you. And if I can help you, let me know. That's what I do. And I appreciate the time, guys. I'm curious, that introduction you read for me, that bio, did I write that? Where the hell did that come from?
You know what? I pull my research from different areas. I think I pulled it from YouTube.
That's fantastic. Like, as I was listening, I was like,
Who is this guy?
You're like, who the hell wrote that?
like, did I write this? I
It was
probably
actually
did,
Chat GPT, so let's put it in there.
Well, I love it. So I'm going to go back and find that and
We'll send
use
it.
that more.
We'll clip it up and we'll send it.
We'll send it to you for sure. Well, awesome. Well,
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, that's all we have for this one, folks. So thank you for tuning in again to another episode of Bricks and Risk. See you soon. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Bricks and Risk. Our goal is that you walk away with 1 or 2 valuable nuggets, and we greatly appreciate you sharing your time with us today. You can find all BNR episodes on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and anywhere else you get your podcast content. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.